Tofu, fresh out of the fryer, and plenty of them. The president of Yamami likes to taste test a piping hot fried tofu at this plant, located near the base of Mount Fuji. He insists the water originating from the famous mountain makes his tofu taste better. And after clearing rounds and rounds of the factory's sanitary requirements, we get a tour of the facility. They make all kinds of soy products, from fresh tofu to slabs of the deep-fried kind called agedofu in Japanese.
Okay, so apparently it's a 15-meter pool inside, and they make a huge thing of tofu, and then they cut it up here, and then even smaller over there before they fry it up for agedofu.
Tofu has been made by mom-and-pop shops for centuries, but with the country's declining population, many are closing down. So how does Yamami beat the odds? The number of tofu companies in Japan going bankrupt is nearing an all-time high, but Yamami Stock has doubled in the last 3 months. What are you doing right that's attracting investors?
I think investors are starting to realize we are not just a small traditional tofu shop, but rather a properly established food company. We used to focus on sales and profits, but ever since I took over as company president, I have been trying to raise productivity. I think the achievements are starting to show in our earnings.
Tofu is not an easy business. You got the rising soybean prices, not to mention Japan's declining population. So what's keeping you up at night? I mean, what is the biggest challenge you'll face, and how will you overcome it?
We are currently working to deal with rising inflation by implementing energy-saving measures and replacing equipment. As prices continue to remain high for the soybeans we import, we are considering increasing the use of domestically produced soybeans. We are planning to shift 10% of the soybeans we use to domestic ones starting March of next year.
At what yen level will you go back to buying international?
I'm basing our business plan off the current exchange rate of about 150 to the dollar. I think we could be more profitable if the exchange rate was 140 or stronger.
As I was walking around the factory earlier, I saw a lot of foreign workers. Are you looking to increase the number of foreign workers you have here at the factory? And what kinds of work are they doing?
We have a lot of employees from Vietnam and Indonesia, but I don't want them to go home after just 3 or 5 years. I want them to become long-time employees at Yamami. I would like to provide them the same equal opportunities as Japanese employees, and I want to increase the number of foreign workers going forward to help with the labor shortage.
In Japan, tofu is a staple. It's always in our fridges. What are your ambitions for overseas expansion?
Overseas, tofu is often considered a health food. But if we expand outside Japan in 10 or 15 years, I want people to eat our tofu because of the delicious taste and not just for health reasons. I do see an opportunity for Yamami to raise our profile abroad.
What do you think is the one thing Japan needs most to stay ahead in the world?
I think it's important to take on more and more challenges. Whether it's new investments or hiring new employees, we can achieve something great. I think this kind of mentality is what both our company and Japan as a whole need to succeed.